Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Justsewsherrie here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Well, hello and welcome to Scout. We've got a Scout cat. Nobody ever says Scout cat. It's morning, obviously, and I think he's telling me it's morning strokes time. Scout likes to have a cuddle on my knee in the morning. Well, not every morning, but when he decides he wants one. So obviously this morning is the day that he's deciding he wants one. So, where are we? I've no idea. As per usual, what am I even doing here? No idea. Something to do with cross stitch. I think, because I haven't got an agenda written out. Maybe I should have written an agenda. Scout, I mean... news on Charlie. Charlie doesn't come here very often anymore because this little sod doesn't like him anymore. They've had a massive falling out. And basically Charlie comes sometimes to be fed, but that's about it. He doesn't stay anymore. Scout's decided that this house is crowded and his presence is no longer welcome. So yeah, but in the meantime Charlie did go missing for about 10 days. So we don't know where he's going. He's obviously got another home somewhere. He's not daft as our Charlie. Most cats aren't. So he's obviously found another home with some good grub, because he's not going back to his normal home. So that's Charlie. What else? We've got a Justsewsherrie this week. Oh yes, we've got Justsewsherrie. It didn't happen this week, but it's a... hate it when cats show their bums to the camera. Apologies, everybody. I'm due to get my car serviced this morning, so I wanted to get at least the beginning bit of this out of the way, and I'll probably do it in 2 halves when I get back. So the Justsewsherrie is finally the one that I've been teasing you with, the Chris Martin one. So I've been given permission. You know, he's away under my desk on top of everything under there. You know where you shove all your... I'll give you a look. Where you shove all your shit. He's away under there. I don't think you can see him. Oh yeah, you can see him just moving around, just here. Yeah. It's going to be a day. I suspect it's going to be a day. So my daughter has given me permission to tell my Chris Martin story. For anybody who doesn't know, there is a band called Coldplay. They're a pretty big band. I don't think I quite realised how big a band they were until I was much closer to them. And they are literally one of the biggest bands in the world. There's 4 of them. There's Will, Johnny, Guy and Chris. Chris Martin is the lead singer and he's like the front man. He is the point of contact is Chris Martin. So that's for anybody who doesn't know Coldplay, because I'm not assuming everybody does. My daughter got a job with them being a roadie, basically. And I mentioned it a few weeks ago, because there's a documentary on YouTube called Roadies of the Spheres, because their last album was called Music of the Spheres, so it was like a take on that. And my daughter Courtney's interviewed in that. So if you want to hop over and have a look, feel free. Massively proud of her. Massively. So this was about a year... What month are we in? So just over a year ago. It was August last year, I think. It might have been the year before. You know how the days used to blend into each other? Well, once you're at a certain age, the years blend into each other. And I'm pretty sure that next it'll be the decades blending into each other. But anyway, So it was when they were playing in Glasgow, and I said I would go up and see Courtney. It was the Bring Your Mum to Work day for her. So I goes up, and it was a day. So I'd driven all the way up to Glasgow. I had obviously checked into the hotel. I was just staying with Courtney, and then I had to make my way to the stadium, and it was Rangers ground. The name escapes me, but anyways, it was held at Rangers. Yes, the football team. I'm making a meal of this, aren't I? Flip neck, we haven't even gotten to the good bit. So I had to get there. Now, I was going to get the train to the main train station. I decided I would just walk instead. Wrong idea. It was a lot further than what I anticipated. And I know Glasgow quite well. I think because I'd never walked between the two stations. Is it Charing Cross and Glasgow Central? I thought it didn't look very far. So anyway, and there was no taxis to be had. I mean, the place was mobbed with Coldplay fans. That you know, there wasn't a square foot of real estate to park yourself in, just about. So I think that's right. That was why I walked, because I didn't have a hope of getting a taxi. That's why. So anyway, so I walked all the way there. Then gets on the train, gets to the other end, gets off when I meant to get off, and walks all the way down to the ground. This probably isn't very far for normal people. Well, I'm saying normal people, for people who are able-bodied, to put it that way. It was a hell of a long way for me. And when I got to the ground, I was meant to meet my daughter in... What is she... Scout, what are you doing? I'm sorry if you can hear that. I think he's trying to find a cosy space. Do you know what he's found? He's found me puff stuff. You know, the things I poof things up with. What's it called? I don't know what it's called. You know, the stuff that you put under, not batten, but the other stuff. Anyway, he's trying to get in the middle of that. So anyway, I was meant to meet her at the East Ramp or something like that. So me thinking I'm being clever, I swirls me phone. If you don't know, on your phone, on an iPhone anyway, in the extras there is a compass. And you're meant to swirl it in a figure of 8 to just recalibrate it. So east is that way. Excellent. Right, I know exactly where I'm going. There's me being clever. Gets to that way, gets up. Somebody, and I says, can you let me in? I'm meeting my daughter. And she was like, no. No, that's not happening. And I says, yeah, I'm sorry. And I had a VIP access all areas pass. Sorry, I've got this. No. So what do you mean no? She went, you can't come in here. I says, why not? She says, because unless you've got a ticket that lets you in here, you can't come in here. I says, I've got an access all areas ticket. That means I can go anywhere. No, you're not coming in here. Anyway, after a little bit of an argument, and I was getting a bit fed up at this point, because I'd walked an awful long way. I'd driven to Glasgow, I'd walked a long way, it had been a day. So I says, right, I need to be here, where's that? She went right the way around there, up the... And I thought, you are kidding. So I does it, I walks all the way around to literally the diagonal opposite of where I was. Diangular is quite a good word. I might have to keep that in my vocabulary. I get all the way around there. Put it that way. Put it this way. I was done. So there was 2 security chaps, and I says, is this where I'm meant to be for this? And he just went, no, you need to be back there. And I just went, and I just looked at him, and I just said, I can't do it. I can't. He says, shall I get your wheelchair? Because I had my stick with us. Shall I get your wheelchair? I went, actually, yeah. And it's not very often I do that. And actually, yeah. And it just so happened the St John's ambulance was next door. So they got me in a wheelchair. I rang Courtney. I was like, look, I don't know where I am. these people are bringing me somewhere in a wheelchair. So anyway, and we got back half the way that I'd come. So with the woman telling me it was right the way at the other end, it wasn't. It was halfway round. And I mean, at this point, I'd done about 20,000 steps. I was done. So I rang Courtney and she says, right, I'm coming out to meet you. So she came out and she was just whistling la 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 up the ramp. Hi, Mum. I was like, hey, Courtney, I'm going to kill you. This is horrendous. I knew I shouldn't have done it. So, and she just starts ordering this, and John, yes, if you just wheel her in here, and I'm being wheeled around, you know, like the Queen. Hello, hello, hello. It's my daughter. Yeah. Who with the cold show? What they called? Coldplay t-shirt on. Yeah, that's it. So I started to get in a bit of a better mood once I'd been wheeled a little bit further. Anyway, I had a fabulous time. She sort of showed me around the understage, and like backstage for Coldplay is understage. Everything's underneath, or it is the way they do it anyway. So, and it was fascinating. If you ever get the chance to have a backstage tour of anything, go, because I had no idea the stuff that goes in. I mean, you just don't think about it. The show comes, they set up and they play, and then they leave. But you don't think of what exactly has to be set up to create this spectacular. And Coldplay's show is spectacular. It really is. I wasn't a particularly big Coldplay fan, so I had to like cram my knowledge. I was playing them all the way from home to Glasgow to try and, come on, Sherrie, learn some lyrics here. So, it's pretty funny. So the concert, honestly, was fabulous. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And then Courtney came to get me after, and she says, right, Mum, we're going to the after show party. I was like, oi, should I? Yeah. I was like, okay, all right, okay. By this point, I mean, you're talking like 11 o'clock at night, because obviously they've got work to do as well. So by the time she came and got me, it was about 11 o'clock. Or later, maybe. You know me, I'm in my bed at 8. This 11 o'clock, after having done all of that stuff all the way through the day. And everywhere I went, Courtney was like, watch this cable, watch that cable, watch your footing, watch your this, watch your that, watch the other. Because health and safety doesn't exist when it comes to setting up gigs like that. It can't. You know, they have to run the cables where they have to run the cables, and everything is sort of covered over as much as possible, but it's not, you know. You do have to be wary. But she was going on, Mum, watch this, watch that, watch the other. And I'm like, right, Courtney. So I'm looking down, and then we get to the inside part of where we were going. And goes down a corridor, and there was a security guy, and Courtney says, is there a lift here? And he went, oh yeah, it's just there. And I went, all right, okay. So we were going, imagine the lift's here. We were going here. Right? Chris Martin comes out the other end with someone else he was talking to and walks up here. So we are going like that at cross purposes. We're going to hit each other. We're actually going to, hit each other. At this point, right, I had done a lot of steps. It was the end of the day. I was a bit fed up. So, Sherrie being Sherrie, Chris walks up to me. I'm focusing on getting through him to the lift, because that's my safety. That's where I need to be, the lift. He walks up and he's just walking along, he's got his beanie hat on and his joggers and, as you do. And he went, hello, you all right? And I just sort of looked and I was like, I didn't say it out loud. All I could think was, I'm getting to the lift, Bonnie lad. I need, can you just move? Just 1 minute, right? Chris, had your horses, because I haven't got time for this. I need to get in that lift, right? And you're blocking me way. So I just, shook my head, Chris, no. I need to get in that lift. I'll see you upstairs. So I get in the lift. My daughter at this point went, as soon as the lift door shut, she went, oh my God, and she just dropped to the floor. She went, you do know that was Chris Martin? I went, yeah. She says, please tell me you spoke to him, please tell me. And I says, well, I didn't. I acknowledged him. Oh, God. I says, well, I shook my head at him to get him out the way. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm going to get sacked. I'm going to get sacked. My mother has just blatantly not even ignored Chris Martin, dismissed him. Absolutely. Just dismissed him. You just don't do that to Chris Martin. You just don't do that. Well, I was busy. He needs to, just mind his P's and Q's. I'll speak to him when I've got time. And actually, after Courtney reacted like that, I sort of thought, I got upstairs in the lift and I was sort of thinking, I says, maybe you're right, Courtney, maybe I should apologise to him. She says, you're not going near him. So I was talking to his PA in this after show party and I says, yeah, I feel a little bit horrible now. I ignored him and I shouldn't have. Well, I didn't ignore him. I just, do you mind? I'm busy, kind of thing. And she says, oh, shall I take you over to me? Courtney went, no. That woman is getting nowhere near that man. It's never happening. She can't be trusted. Put her in a dark corner of the room and leave her there. That's the only place she's allowed to go anymore. And I went down to sit at, there was a settee down the back of the room. And I says, oh, shall we go and sit down, Courtney? Because I was knackered. And went and sat down and Chris was just sitting on the floor. Just beside there actually, and I had a little smirk on my face and twinkle in my eye, and I turned to him, Courtney, and went, don't you dare. So I owe Chris Martin an apology. That is my Chris Martin story. So yeah, onwards and upwards. I think I'm going to go and see them. They're coming to Hull in Wembley next year. So I think I'm going to go and see them at Wembley. Because I've never been to Wembley. So I'm not that bothered about Coldplay. I just want to go to Wembley. They were playing at the San Siro last year. And I'm really wanting to go. Not too, but to be fair, the concert is, it's a cracking concert. So that is that. Cross stitch. I have taken 15 minutes to tell you good morning, hello to Scout, and we've done Chris Martin as well, so to speak. What have we got going on in the cross stitch world? Well, we have got one new start, no finishes, one almost very, very fully finished, which I'll show you. I will show you because it's nearly almost done. I've got my whips and I've got some gifts. Now the gifts are the same as last week. I haven't ordered them recently. They've just come in recently. So finally got my hands on the market needlework place market. My tummy, honestly, every time I come on here now, my tummy, who was it? Oh, it was Michelle. She said our tummy was singing and I just thought that was dead canny. Anyway, yeah, needlework place market or needle place market. I've got some stuff from August that finally came in, and some stuff from the Big Stitch that finally came in as well. So it's all old ordered stuff, but it arrived this week. So let's do a little bit. As I said, oh gosh, we will be doing, I think we'll do my new start, my fully finish and my new start. And then I'll probably go and do me errands and come back and do me whips. So, if you can remember last week, I finished I Love Fall most of all. And I talked about putting it on a pumpkin that I got from Hobbycraft. So I've just found the pumpkin, because I didn't know where I'd put it. So obviously I stopped looking for it and then I found it. And it is almost ready to go. So this is the fully finish. Now literally all I've done is I've put some, it's not me proper poofy bit that Scout was trying. What is that called? Is it Warden? Is wadding and batten different? It's not batten, it's not like the thing. So anyway, I've put batten, actually. I've put three layers. What I've done is I've put a little layer and then a bigger layer and then a full length layer over the top. I learned my lesson from this one. Remember this one? See how you can see the batten here? So I learned my lesson. I've put that one at the bottom and then the slightly bigger one and then the biggest piece over the under the actual stitching. So I did learn a lesson. So that's how I've done it. So it puffs out slightly, you can see there. And all I have done is I have literally glued it. I am a gluer. So I don't know if you call it mitre in the corners, turned the corners over and then glued it. And I have got this little bit of, I suppose you could call it cordon. It's not really ribbon. And again I've glued it. Now this is where I've joined. So I will put something here. And I am literally just going to put it on here like that. I was going to say something then, I've forgotten. Oh, that's right. So what I'm going to do, I want to put it on just temporary this year, so I might just do it with needle minders or whatever. Because what I'd like to do is dry brush this pumpkin, either in like a peachy colour or an antique white. So let me know what you think, whether just an old whitey colour would work to give it that sort of shabby chic look, or whether it would be better, because obviously pumpkins are orange, aren't they? Whether it would be better sort of done with the actual colours. So let me know, but I am chuffed to bits how that is coming out so far. Not finished yet, but I can't believe it's worked the way I wanted it to in my head. That's what it looked like in my head. I'm amazed. I know you are too, aren't you? So, what is my new start? Well, it is another Brenda Gervais autumn Halloween. When pumpkins glow. So once I'd finished that, I was going to start When Pumpkins Glow, and this is as far as I am. I don't think that's too shabby for a week, and it's on 40 count platinum, as I'm sure you can read. So I'm doing it 1/2 with all the called for over dyes. So it's going to be about half again, so it's going to be here. I've seen it done, I think most people have done it on a, the most I've seen, I think people have done it on a lower count, so it's a lot bigger. So that I did have that in mind when I chose what count I wanted to use, because I would like it very similar. Well, just I would like it to do how they've done it. I would like to do some sort of a flat finish, exactly like I Love Fall. I would like to do some sort of a flat finish, whether that's on a board like this or an actual flat fold. You saw my face wrinkle up there, an actual flat fold. Yeah. That might be beyond my capabilities. But that is my When Pumpkins Glow, my new start for this week. And I am going to go and take my car for its service. and to get clean. And I will be back. What else was I going to say there before? And I'm going to take my, I haven't worked on this week, but I'm going to take the pumpkin one, the Mill Hill pumpkin, because I think they're Mill Hills are really good. The beads ones, you know what I mean, the perforated paper ones, they're really good for being portable, transportable. So I'll take that because it won't have much, and I'll sit and do that, and I will be back with you in a nanosecond. I'm back. I know I wasn't gone long, was I? I was going to say it's 20 to 2. It's not 20 to 2. It's not far off. We're on to midday now. So my car's had a little wash. Because that's what they do when they service it. Which is nice. Right, what did I do while I was there? Well, funnily enough, I did what I said I was going to do, and I need to right a wrong that I did on my last floss tube. So this one has got my Sally Flossy Sews and Grows floss drops, and this is, now I called it Buttons and Beads. Buttons and Beads is the series that it is. It is Enchanted Pumpkin, I think, is what it says there. And I've done a little bit more while I was there. So all I've done more is this sort of chunk of orange. And that's like, what, an hour and a half stitching? I am quite slow. But it's coming on. It's starting to take form. I think that's going to be stunning once it's done. It's got the beads and everything on. I think I don't pick it up as often as I should or could, because with it being a small that is transportable, I kind of think it's a bit of a waste. I don't know if you lot have the same as me. When I've got, like on a Saturday, I like to get out me big ladies, or something that is a bigger project. In other words, something that needs to be sort of in a big hoop or has got a lot of threads to it or whatever. Because I always think it's worth getting out if I'm going to do a few hours on it. Whereas something like that, I'm not going to get out because I can do an hour on it randomly sitting in the car somewhere. But I forget that I don't randomly sit in the car anywhere, really. So these poor little projects get kind of left. Because I think, oh, it's a shame. Taking me time. Am I making any sense? Like, I like to spend, when I've got a full day, I like to get something bigger out. I'm probably not making any sense at all, whatsoever. I rarely do. Okay, next one. Christmas rules. And I was watching the Talking Dog the other day, and she's doing really well. So I am stitching this with Rachel, aka Talking Dog Stitcher. And I finished it into chunks so that it will be done from the 1st of July by the 1st of December. And this is where I am. So, since you saw it last, the only thing I've done is a snowman. So, the red snowman down here, that's all I've done. For this one, what have I got to do? I've got to do down to the bottom of Spread Joy, I think. Let me have a look at my bits. October, we've only got 2 months left. Yeah, so I've got to do it down to the end of October. I should be down to the bottom of Joy. And then November, well, is the rest. Because then it's meant to be finished for the 1st of December. Notice I said finished and not fully finished. So, yeah. So it's the smallest part of this bit. I think this bit will go quite quickly because it's mainly letters. The wreath bit in here will take a little bit more doing, but other than that, the rest of it's just letters. And I quite like stitching letters, stitching font. I know some people don't, but I do. So, and this is on I'm doing it 2/2. Yes, 2/2. On a mystery linen. It's a 32 count. And it's a really lovely open weave. I don't know if you can see through it, but you can see there how open the weave is, which means that the two threads are sitting quite nicely in it. If you've been here a while, you will know my age-old struggle with two threads and getting them to lie the way I want them to lie. I've had to put my cardi on because I was freezing and it's making me blouse all bunch up. I've got the heating on as well. There we are. First one. Second one. This is at a start and a fail in one go. So this was Friendly Blooms that I bought to stitch as a retreat, a smalls exchange for Stitch in London. Stitch in London weekend 1 is this weekend as I speak. Stitch in London weekend 2, which is when I'm going, is next week. Yes, I could have done it by then, but I've decided not to. I've just totally bailed. I'm like, what's wrong with you, Sherrie? So anyway, I have done a little bit more on it, which isn't hard to do because I'd only done the top couple of rows, about this much, when you saw it as and it's only a small, I could do it quite easily. I've just, thumbs down. It is a big fat thumbs down because I've just totally bailed. I've just gone, do you know what? I can't do this smalls exchange. So I've decided I'll do it for Stitch in London summer. Maybe by then I will have my big brave girl pants on to do a smalls exchange. I just yeah. I know some of you will understand. It's scary. It's scary doing something like that. To all you people who do it, like, as a matter of course, I hold my hands up to you because I'm just not that brave. I am not that brave. Next one, Valencia, and I very kindly got this off my friend Alison. Came all the way from Australia, which is where my little girl is now. So my Courtney girl she landed in Australia a week ago maybe, ahead of the gigs that they're playing over there. So she's got about a month to travel and see. I was going to say see Australia, but mainly she's diving. Well, at the moment she's doing some diving around the Barrier Reef. So I'm spending some time on an island. Is it Whitsunday Island? I've never even heard of it. And I found out where Papua New Guinea is as well. That's beside Australia. I didn't know that. I didn't know where I thought it was. Well, I didn't think about it. I never thought about it. But anyway, it turns out I've learned loads about geography. Valencia came from Australia. She did. And this is where I am. So this has been done on 36 count summer khaki, which is one of my go-tos. I love it. I love this for a red stitch. So where was it when you last saw it? I had started the 1/1, so I think I'd got to improvement, and I think that was as far as I got. So I've put in some more of the 1/1. Improvement follows industry always is what it's going to say. And then I've started doing these little crowns. So I've done this side. This is just replicated over this side. So hopefully this will be a finish before much longer. And I'm tempted to finish it a bit like Mary Robbard, Stacey Nash. That's finished into a pocket, which I've done some of the sewing on it. But I was waiting, oh, that's right, I was waiting for a red ribbon. I need some like a deep red ribbon, which I'd forgotten about until now. But I'm tempted to finish it like that, in some sort of a pocket. Some sort of a, don't think it's, can't be a needle minder, but some sort of a pocket might be nice. That's my thought anyway. So that is coming on, and hopefully that will be a finish before much longer. Just taking my card off. Right. The old favourite. The one that you've been watching for a year if you've been hanging around that long. And it is Owl Forest Embroidery Patchwork Calendar. And I am up to November now. Nearly finished. Which is a good and a bad thing. Because obviously it's a good thing, because we like to finish things. But on the other hand, it's a bad thing because we have to finish things. So this is where I am. November. So when you last saw it, I had done the top. And I had done a couple of these birds. And then I was basically at about the top of here, pretty much. So I finished off the birds. I've still got another one to do down here, and then I've started moving, finished these flowers and started moving further down. So basically I've done half of it. I just need to move down and do the rest of the second half. But honestly, I mean, and you can't even see the colours that I can see because it's the camera's blowing the colour out. It is fabulous. In real life, the colours are spectacular. And this is where I am. It's funny because I only ever see it like this when I open it up on YouTube. So as you're seeing it, so am I, for the kind of the first time, if you like. It really is looking, it's looking close to the end. Close to the end, but I suppose everything has to. Good, bad and indifferent, everything has to end. Oh, I'm getting a bit maudlin. And I'm doing that, sorry I should have said, this is on 40 count ballet slippers by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm doing it with the called for, which are the Owl Forest, and I still can't say that word properly, Owl Forest embroidery threads. Although I've been having a look at some new Owl Forest patterns. Dangerous, I know. And I will get, so for anybody new here, the Owl Forest, they do two types. They do their own, must be like a cheaper, I don't know if it's a Russian brand or wherever, and they do the more expensive DMC over dyes with their colours as well. In future I will get the DMC. I've got a couple already kitted up, got one kitted up, English band sampler, and I've got another one kitted, but I've got a feeling it's kitted with silks, but I'd need to have a look. Unless I'm getting confused, because there's another band sampler I've got kitted up with silks. So maybe I'm getting band samplers and Owl Forest embroideries mixed up. Don't you enjoy seeing how my brain works on a live level? In other words, I'm probably talking a load of rubbish, is what I'm trying to say. So, back to Halloween, and we are at Salem Sisters Apothecary. I love that word, apothecary. I like a word that you can wrap your mouth around. I don't know why. Like discombobulate, that's a good word. What was I saying about my brain? And this is where I am. So I had done one bottle and I was halfway through the second bottle. So I finished the second bottle. I've come round here, I've done this little birdie. I'm not going to call him a crow or a raven because I don't know what he is. And this funny little doodah. And I've started putting in some of the backstitch words. So there's that. I've still got the word finest to go in up here, backstitch as well. And then I went into Frogland here. Basically because I was counting off the H when I should have been counting off the T. So everything that I put up here to get down to the cauldron, so that I could count down to the cauldron, was off. So I had to take it all out and start again. So I was trying to basically come down here. So I'd done loads of this, but I'd counted it off. On the pattern, I'd counted it off the H, whereas obviously on the reality, I haven't done the H. So I have frogged a lot of it. I need to check whether this is my new stitching or still a frog stitching. I would like to think it's my new stitching, that I haven't put it away half frogged. But maybe me, I will need to check. I don't know whether she's been put on a time out after being fully throgged and throgged or flogged. Yeah, she's been thoroughly flogged and throgged and frogged. Everything. What? Yes. In other words, I mean, to be fair, I would normally frog it all and then start it off right again before I put it away, if that's what I was going to do. But I will need to check with that. Right, I've left me, and I'm doing that. I should have said, did I even say what fabric I was doing it on? So I'm doing it on 28 count Jobelin. No? Linen. Ah yeah, this is not a good day. It is 28 count linen Storm by Bee Stitch Me. But I'm assuming it's because it's over dyed. It's not, it doesn't look like a 28 count to me. Definitely not. And I'm doing it with number 12 DNC Pearl Cotton. And my next one, and for my next trick, is Sarah Fletcher. Get my board out. Sarah Fletcher by Hands Across the Sea, that I'm doing with my friend Patty for her birthday. I'm really enjoying this. Apart from reading the pattern, which we have discussed before. And no doubt we will discuss again So, where are we? That's right, so I have done, since you saw it, I've done this little flower. I've finished the flowers here, put them all in. I've put in the greenery around here, and I've put in the pot. It's funny because when I did the pot, I was looking thinking, do I need to change that colour? It seems really washed out. But actually it's fine since I've gotten it out and looked at it. I think what's happened is because I've been working in the reds and the pinks, then suddenly to go into a really sort of the pale blue, I wasn't sure if you could see it properly or not, but actually you can. It's fine. Is that all I've done on it? It must have been. And of course I've done this little bit here as well. So I haven't done a huge amount on her, but I have got that motif finished. Not long to go. I've enjoyed this as well, mind. I'm doing this on 36 count winter moon with the Averroisoise, the 103s. I was going to get this out again. No, I was getting that out again. The pattern is in small bits, so it's in half sections, and then it's in like, so you only get like that much to a pattern, and then that much to another pattern, and then that much to another pattern, to another page I should say. And I've ended up having to stick them all together. This is the back of one of the, it is driving me to distraction. If anybody has a brighter way, because obviously hats are massively popular and they're fabulous patterns. I mean, you can't knock what Nicola does. So if I'm missing a trick as to how to read the patterns a lot easier, can somebody help? Because I'm really struggling. Yes. Did I say I was doing it 1/2? No? Well, I am. I'm doing it 1/2. And I did say 36 count winter moon. I've loved it, mind. I know I've whinged about the pattern, reading the pattern, but other than that, I absolutely love the pattern, the threads. It's all, apart from the reading, well, the piecing the pattern together. But I think it's just probably because I'm thick. There might be an easier way to do it. It's a bit like, what do you call them, mirabilias. I mean, they're another, like, really? This was the best way? Really? Says she who owns I was going to say half a dozen, a full dozen. So I don't intend to not stitch hats or mirabilias. I just like to have a good moan about it as far as oh no, I haven't got, hang on a second for this. 2 ticks. Right, I found it. So this is Jardin Privé. Now I started stitching it, and can you remember I said I'm going to do this as a gift for somebody, and I said I might just do like if the first few. I don't need to do it all, because I was hoping to do it for Christmas, in time for Christmas. And then I looked closely at it. I didn't realise this is a year. So these are the months. Each birdhouse is a month. So when I first started stitching it, you see, I thought it's like a winter stitch or a Christmas stitch, but it's not. So you've got the cold one here with his little hat on in January, the lovebirds February, the green shamrock March, April showers with your big cloud, May the birds are coming out. June, is that a beehive? And then we're getting into the summer months with is that a seagull? Yeah. And then a ship. Don't know what September is. Don't know. And then we're coming back November and then December, which is like a Christmas one. I didn't know that. So if anyone's looking for a year stitch, I think that's quite a nice one. It's bonkers, isn't it? I mean, I look at things and think, yeah, that looks canny. I mean, I literally must look at them with one eye and go, yeah, it looks all right, I'll start stitching it. And it isn't until I'm halfway through that I'm like, oh, is that what I'm stitching? Like, really? So, I've done quite a bit more on this one. So this has been done on 36 count cypress by Fibre on a Whim. And when you last saw it, I had done this first bit and some of the fence. So basically I've come back and I've done the tree. And I've started to put the ice and things in. And I've come back and I've put his little eyes in. And his little belly. And then we've moved down into February, so we've got the lovebirds. So I've done quite a bit actually on this. I'm loving it as well. It's stitching up. No, Mr. Computer, you got this wrong. This is a thumbs up. This is a thumbs up one. The other one was a thumbs down. You see, when I try and get it, it doesn't work. I'm sure there's a little man sitting inside my computer saying, what would we do to fox that today? Didn't I tell you? There's a little man sitting inside my computer. So, that is where I am on Jardin Privé off de Nicois. Now I looked this up as well in French. Obviously I looked it up in French. And I think it came out with, it was something to do with nest boxes. I don't know if it's a year of nest boxes. Sherrie. I'll not give up the day job, don't worry. And my last whip for this week is Weary Ride. So Weary Ride, and I'm doing this with Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows, Rachel, Talking Dog Stitcher, and Lauren, Flossabilities. And yes, I had a moment with this. I've had a few moments with this. This is going to be, if I get to the end of it and I'm still alive and it's in one piece, it will be a miracle. So, this is as far as we are. So the last time you saw it, I had basically done up to here. I'd done some of the top row here and I'd done the orange up to here and these. So I have finished the top row of the border and I've started coming down the side. So I've done that. I've put the rest of the words in, where we ride till it's dark as pitch. Well, it's nearly got the end of the T in. And then I've started coming down and getting into the colours down here because I was kind of sick of stitching with just Garden Gate and Onyx. I needed some of the fun stuff, so I picked up one of them. Now, I picked up Mulberry, one of the colours, what I was trying to say. I am doing this with the Called For. That's the Mulberry. The colours are fabulous. For being dark and grungy, they've just got a really lovely amount of pop in the colour as well. So they've got the pink, the oranges, the russets, the blue, the red, as well as the greys and the blacks. Now what happened? I lost them, didn't I? I lost my threads. And I found them here. So I was going to kit it up for the third time, back with the first time's threads. Are you following me so far? Because I bought the threads, I lost the threads, I bought some more threads, I found the threads, I had 2 sets of threads, then I lost the threads and had no sets of threads, and then I went back to kit it up from my first set of threads, and there they were, just hanging up. I have no idea why I've hung them back up there. I do not know, but I have. So they are here. The stitching is here. I told you this was on 30, what did I tell you it was on? I know it was tin roof, something count tin roof. Anyway, it is on 32 count grey by Weeks Dye Work. Dye Works, with an S on the end. So, and that needle minder is from Denkai Designs. And that, lovely ladies and gentlemen, is all my stitching for this week. It doesn't feel like very much. Or I don't know if it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't feel like very much at all. So I'm going to move the piles. I'll show you what presents I got, and then I will leave you to be to the rest of your lovely day, wherever and whenever you're going. I'm lost. Right, so I ordered some XG designs from the Big Stitch, and that came in. So I got morning coffee. This is lovely. It's a bit deeper. It reminds me of, you know, the colour of clay, terracotta clay. That's what it's like. It's just like, it's got that reddish brown. Really, really, really lovely. Really lovely. And I think, I'm assuming, one of you can put me right if I am wrong. It's Zweigart based because it's got the orange stripe, which is why I probably like it, because when it's come in, the fabric itself is lovely. I'm really going to enjoy stitching on it. I got this one, which is Rustic Sheep, which is a bit darker than what you're seeing. It's a real sort of golden sand colour. I'm just having a look to see what count did I even order? I haven't got a clue. 36 count. This was 36 count. What's this? £40 count. So all I've done is it comes with little, what do you call it? Who's yours? And I've just taken them off and I just staple them. Otherwise I'll lose them and I'll forget what the hell it is that I've got in my hands. So this is Rustic Sheep. 40 count Rustic Sheep, did I say? And then I got this one. For some reason I thought it was Grandpa's sleeve. I don't think it's a million miles away from it, but it isn't Grandpa's sleeve. This is early Halloween. No, it isn't. This is Jack-o'-lantern. 40 count Jack-o'-lantern. Don't listen to anything I say, you know. Honestly, because I just... you know, people say, oh, she makes it up as she goes along. Yep. And this one, what's this one? It is early Halloween. So yeah, I've got an early Halloween. I haven't entirely made it up. So, and this is a 36 count, which is lovely. It's probably a little bit deeper than what you're seeing. The blue's a little bit deeper maybe. But what I'll do is, if anybody hasn't seen me craft room tour, I've got different counts in different drawers, so I'll separate them all out because I've got two 40 count and two 36. Unless I've got something specific that I know I want to stitch on it, I'll just get a selection and then see what I've got nearer the time. And my needlework pre-orders came in. I have been waiting for ages for this. Coffee and Tea by my friend Laura, who's Textilly, and she's on Instagram as Textilly, YouTube, Etsy. And I'll be doing the tea. Loves me a cup of tea, as I'm sure you all know by now. I also got the Artsy Housewife. I love this. And I think this, I don't know if I've just said this was perfect sampler colour. It is. But it's actually perfect colour for that as well. Depending on when I kit it up with threads, it'll depend on the colours of the leaves to make sure that will show up. But we can look at that near it. I got this one. You know, I love me a hello from Liz Matthews. And she's included an alphabet and numbers on the back, obviously for you to put your own in the middle. I think this will be a really lovely meditative palette cleanser of a stitch. You know, so if you've been going from, do you put emotions? Well, yeah, I do put emotions into, if I've got like a heavy, not heavy, but like if I'm doing a sampler that takes more brain power, to go and do something like this before I then pick up a different kind of, might be a fancy lady or whatever, palette cleanser. I think that would be, I think I've just made that up and I think that would be perfect. I got this one, Old Willow Stitchery. There is motifs at the bottom here, honest, I promise. You can't see it on the picture, but you can see it on the pattern. So I will be looking at the colours of that as well and making sure that I don't lose. Yeah, because that little girl, Sarah, it doesn't say how old she was. It says, allow for human weakness, let angry passions cease and live in love and meekness and charity and peace. Isn't that lovely? I don't know how old she was. Anyway, there is one I'm going to show you at the very end, and the reason will become clear when I show you. And then I got another 3, and with these 3 I got the threads. This one is a one I am about to start. I cannot, really looking forward, and we'll start it toot sweet, as Del Boy would say. So Stacey Nash, Nell. Isn't that just the canniest thing you've ever seen in your life? With our little bloody Halloween mask, man. Isn't that just lush? What a canny bairn. And I got the threads for this from Rachel as well. So I've got all of my pre-orders, I should have said. I'm sorry, Rachel. From Talking Dog Stitchery. She will kit up if you ask her to. So although she doesn't carry the week's threads, she will kit them up. So if you want a pattern, just send her a message and say, will you kit it up for us? And I'm sure she'll. There's me offering. I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. She will. She will. So, and I will be starting that soon because I think that's dead canny. I also got Reynard. Who's the British series. Nettle isn't part of the British series, but that's fine. She can be international, that's fine. And I got all the threads for Reynard as well. Little Foxy Loxy. And the last one I got, another Stacey Nash was the British series Clovis. And I had to have her with this little singing tea kettle. And I got all the threads to go with her as well. Little badger. So I can put them all away and they're ready to go when I am. So that is it. I didn't have much, I just had some stuff that I'd paid for previously, so nothing new. Going forward plans, I am at Stitch in London weekend 2 next weekend, so it's unlikely that I'll do a floss tube. I know I did one when I was at Sherrie in the summer, so never say never, but at this moment I'm not planning on doing one. I'm still into Halloween with half an eye on Christmas, but I've got me gift stitch that I want to do, and yeah, I've got some Halloween things that I'd like to get that other one finished as well. Not Mary Robard, the one I said I would finish like Mary Robard. What's it? Eleanor? No, Evelyn. Evelyn Sear. I'd like to have her done and finished as well. But other than that, I'm just going to keep stitching what I fancy. I'm back at work, but only doing half days. So I've still got a little bit of extra time to stitch, but nothing major. So we will see how next week goes. Other than that, guys, I think that's your lot. It's been a funny one today. I think it's because I started this morning and then obviously I had to take a breather to go and get my car sorted. I don't know, I just haven't felt in me zone this week. And last week's was a long one as well because I didn't do one the week before. So I think that's what it is. I think I'm just not in me routine. So the last one that I'm going to show you also comes with this week's final thought. So I got Memento Mori by Bendy Stitchy. Is it Bendy Stitchy or Bendy Stitchy Designs? It's both, I think. So I'm not sure what. I love the aquamarine in here. That's my colour. Right up my street. I don't know what I'll actually stitch it in, we will see. But on this it states Memento Mori, Memento Vivere, which is a Latin phrase that translates to remember you will die, therefore remember to live. Bye for now.